Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and please check out my channel for other updates. So the last update about Twist of Fate. Ranbir promised that he will never break Prachi's heart again, and Rhea manipulates the NGO women against Prachi, and it is Pallavi and Vikram's wedding anniversary. Let's continue. Vikram comes to the room asking Siddharth, why did you come here? You shouldn't have come here. Siddharth asks him and asks, how are you? Vikram says, I am fine. He asks, why did you come? Vikram gives him 40,000 check. Siddharth says, if I was in need of money, then you wouldn't have met me. Vikram says, even you haven't called me. Siddharth says, whenever I thought to call you, I thought I am bad in your sight. Vikram says, I am an emotional person and I had my mind. Then I realized that something wrong have happened with you. Then I recalled your words that Prachi and you were unconscious in the room, and I realized that someone else wanted to separate Prachi and Ranbir. Siddharth says it was not someone else, but Rhea. Siddharth says Rhea had told me that it was a plan along with Pallavi to separate Prachi and Ranbir. Vikram says, I know. He says the matter is more bigger than this. Siddharth says, I am glad that you have forgiven me. Vikram says, I have forgiven you as wrong things happened with you, and not because you are my brother's son. Vikram says to Siddharth that whatever happened with you, I am forgiving you, but I will not forgive you for not calling me. Siddharth says, I missed you a lot. Vikram says, my heart is big. Don't take it on heart. He says, tell me if you need anything. Siddharth thanks him and hugs him. Vikram says, will you not wish me happy anniversary? And Siddharth wishes him. Vikram asks Siddharth to leave, else Pallavi might see him. He asks him to go from the door. Just then, they see Pallavi coming inside. Siddharth sneaks out silently. Pallavi asks Vikram to come inside. Prachi runs happily and goes somewhere. Rhea keeps her eye on her and thinks that this lamp will be set off very soon. Siddharth sees Prachi running and seeing him, he holds her hand and takes her away from there. Rhea sees them and thinks that who took Prachi to the room. Prachi asks Siddharth if Ranbir knew that we came home. Siddharth says nobody knows and says he is happy to see Prachi at her home. He asks what is the reason for her happiness. Prachi says tonight, I am going to tell Ranbir about my pregnancy and says I have to tell him much more, which was in my mind. Siddharth is happy for Prachi and he smiles. Prachi says she wants to share her emotions and feelings with Ranbir. Siddharth says I am happy for both of you. He wears his hoodie and says I have to rush and asks where to hide. Prachi says everyone is busy and she asks Siddharth, why did you come here? Siddharth thinks that if I tell her about my business, then she would help me and I don't want her to stress herself. Rhea comes to the window and thinks that who is meeting Prachi alone in the bedroom. She hears Siddharth's voice and recognizes him. Siddharth removes the hoodie and says that he came to meet Prachi and the baby. Rhea is shocked to hear this. Prachi says, I didn't tell anyone at home about my pregnancy. Siddharth says tell them at the right time and then their connection will be built with them. Rhea thinks that it is Prachi and Siddharth's baby whom they want to get the Kohli's name for. Rhea takes Siddharth and Prachi's recording on her phone and thinks to expose them. She takes their picture. Just then, Prachi feels dizzy and faint. Siddharth owes her. Rhea takes the picture again. She says it was enough of romance. Now the time has come to expose the truth. She smiles and goes away from there. Rhea thinks that she will get an award for capturing the thieves and tells Aliyah that she has seen Prachi with Siddharth. Aliyah says, Siddharth? Rhea says, I have heard them talking. And Siddharth told Prachi that she should tell about the baby to everyone so that everyone feel connected with him. Rhea tells Aliyah that I have told you that Siddharth and Prachi have an illegitimate relationship and they want to force their baby on the Kohli family. She shows the picture to Aliyah and says today, nobody can stop me from exposing Prachi. Niti comes there and tells Rhea that a driver came to give her something. Rhea says I will meet him and tells Aliyah that the report has come. She goes to meet the driver and sees the envelope in his hand. Ranbir is happy and she checks the time. Shahana recalls Prachi asking her to decorate the terrace. She thinks that the terrace is ready. They should go up and unite so that even the stars and the moon can come down. Ranbir asks Shahana what is going on between Prachi and you. Shahana says I should ask you both and says what is going on. Ranbir says you will know at 9 p.m. Shahana says you are saying it as if live telecast is going to happen. She says you both were fighting unnecessarily. Prachi coughs. Ranbir says I will bring water for you. He collides with Rhea. Rhea says I will see you later and finds the driver missing. Ranbir looks at the driver and asks him to have tea, coffee or something. The driver says that he is Dr. Pooja's driver and he came to give the report to Rhea. Ranbir takes the report and asks the driver to have the starters and go. He thinks to check the report, thinking if it is for Prachi. Rhea comes to the driver and asks him to give her the envelope. The driver says, "I gave it to that man." Rhea gets shocked. She collides with Ranbir intentionally and makes the envelope fall down. She then says that she got fracture in her leg, but she finds the report missing. Pallavi asks the caterer why the food is expensive. The caterer says, "I will give you all the expenses." He takes Prachi's report and started writing behind it. Pallavi says, "I will check it later." Prachi takes out something from her cupboard. Siddharth says, "Today, I will go to the temple and thank God for your smile." Siddharth asks Prachi not to tell anyone that he had come to meet Vikram's uncle. Prachi says okay. Siddharth leaves. Prachi hopes to stay with everyone as a happy family. Rhea searches for the report and thinks that where did it go to? Aliyah thinks that why is Rhea working like this? She asks her, "Why are you working like this?" and asks about the report. Rhea says the driver gave the report to Ranbir, but before he could read it, I pushed him, but the report went missing. Aliyah says it will be there itself, where it fell down. Rhea says if the report are positive, then we will do as we thought, else we have to change our plan. Aliyah says Siddharth says it in the video that Prachi is pregnant. Rhea says we cannot prove anything by the video. She says once the pregnancy is confirmed, then we would expose everything. Aliyah asks Rhea to rest and says I will search for the report. She says I want you to be there when Prachi is exposed and then the NGO women will blacken her face. Aliyah tells Rhea that I want you to blacken Prachi's face as well. Aliyah takes Rhea to the room and asks about the envelope color. Rhea says white color. Aliyah goes. Rhea thinks to drink water and get up. She thinks that she should be fine before the report is found and she looks at someone. Prachi comes to the terrace and waiting for Ranbir. She thinks that why did Ranbir not come till now? It is 9 p.m. She looks at the decorations and smiles, recalling Ranbir telling her that we are pregnant and their little Prachi will call him father as he likes it. The flashback ends. Prachi thinks I am going to tell you about our relationship truth. Someone is going to come who will call you father. We have fulfilled your third dream and your last dream together. She smiles and thinks of their dance in the hall. A song plays in the background. Just then, she loses her balance and she sleeps. Ranbir comes there and holds Prachi from falling. He asks her to give her hand and makes her sit. He takes off her sandal and wipes her foot. He tells her that grandma had lighted the lamps there and that is why you have slept due to the leakage of the oil from it. He asks her to tell him about their relationship truth and says it is 9 p.m. Prachi asks Ranbir if he remembers about her sayings about the moon. Ranbir says, I remember. You used to say that the moon will keep us connected even if we separate. Prachi says, after whatever I am going to tell you, we will never be separated again. Ranbir moves his hand on Prachi's hair. Both of them get hopeful. A song plays in the background. Ranbir is about to kiss Prachi's forehead and he gets a call and excuses himself after asking Prachi to be there. He comes back to the party, thinking about Prachi and his moment. He asks Pallavi why did she call him, if there is any problem. Pallavi asks where is his dad and says he should be with me on the anniversary. Ranbir says dad must be around. Pallavi says she doubted that Vikram is doing something hiding. She says Rhea and Aliyah are also not here. Aliyah comes there. Ranbir says aunt is here. Prachi also comes there. Ranbir says Prachi also came. Pallavi asks him not to disappoint her. Aliyah tells Pallavi that Rhea was searching for a paper and it has slipped. The caterer comes there and gives the calculation paper to Pallavi, which is Prachi's pregnancy report as well. Pallavi takes the paper and goes. Ranbir thinks if Prachi got upset as I got closer to her on the terrace. Prachi turns and collides with Ranbir. Aliyah searches for the report and then looks at Ranbir and Prachi. She provokes the NGO women against Prachi. The NGO women says that Ranbir looks innocent, but he fools people. Pallavi calls Ranbir. Ranbir asks Prachi if she is upset with him. Prachi says no and asks him to meet her on the terrace. Pallavi asks Ranbir to check the caterer calculation and says she wants to be sure that the guests are taken care of well and served well. Ranbir says I will check and keeps the paper in his pocket. Grandma asks Shahana why she has a feeling that Rhea is planning something against Prachi. Shahana says Rhea is not around and she must be up to something. Prachi comes there. Grandma says Rhea must have made a plan by now. Prachi says Rhea cannot do anything now. Now nobody will come between Ranbir and me, and now we would have love and trust between us. Prachi tells Shahana that tomorrow morning will be our hope morning and tells her that Rhea cannot do anything even if she wants to. Vikram is talking on the phone and he says he will sort it out. Pallavi comes to him and says you should be with me on our anniversary. What people will think and feel about us if they see us standing separately. Vikram asks Pallavi if you are really bothered about people's thoughts or if you were really missing me. He asks her to drink water and calm down or have whiskey in his style. Pallavi gets angry and says I am doubtful that you are hiding something from me. Vikram asks Pallavi to enjoy. Pallavi says you are hiding something from me. I am 100% sure. Vikram says can't you talk to me about this tomorrow? And says even you do things which I don't like, but you still do it. You cannot clap with one hand. He is about to go. Pallavi says if Rhea is the problem, then she will be with us all life. Vikram asks Pallavi to enjoy the anniversary party with Rhea and asks her to do whatever she feels right, and he will do the same thing. Pallavi gets irritated and goes to Aliyah. She asks, where is Rhea? Aliyah says, I am going there. They come to Rhea. Pallavi asks, how are you? She gets a call and goes. And please let me tell you that this is exactly the point where a new Rhea will come into this show. That means a new face will start playing the role of Rhea from this point onward. Rhea asks Aliyah, did you get the report? Aliyah says no. Rhea gets up and falls on Aliyah and says I am hot. Everything is getting delayed. I should have Prachi's report by now. She says all my stuff and the wedding picture shall be in Ranbir's room. But she says I want to kick Prachi out from this room and I want to stay in his room. I want to celebrate honeymoon with Ranbir as I deserve it. Rhea says she is the Kohli family's only daughter-in-law and says if I don't expose Prachi tonight and tell everyone that she is carrying Siddharth's child, then I will lose Ranbir forever. Aliyah says you cannot lose. You are my Rhea. Rhea says whatever I want is not happening and I can do what Prachi doesn't want. Pallavi comes there and asks Rhea how is she. Rhea says she is fine and she wants to dance. She asks Aliyah to go and says she will come later. Aliyah asks what are you going to do? Rhea says I will tell you later. Aliyah tells Pallavi that Rhea is drinking water and she is coming. Rhea calls the doctor and asks, did you read the report? The doctor says I haven't read it, but I have the duplicate copy. She checks and tells Rhea that Prachi is pregnant. Rhea insisted on the doctor to come and tell the news to the family, otherwise they will not believe her. The doctor says okay, I will come. Rhea smiles. So here is the picture of the old Rhea and here is the picture of the new Rhea side by side. Immediately she was changed. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like my video, share it and please subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.